Hello, and welcome to Handling History. I'm Theo, and today I have a very interesting piece of my collection to highlight. First, a little background. The 3rd century is widely recognized as the beginning of the fall of the Roman Empire, with quick revolutions between rulers and many years with multiple holders of the Roman throne. After arguably the high point of the imperial period under the adoptive emperors from Nerva to Marcus Aurelius, the reign of Marcus Aurelius' son Commodus, famously portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix in the movie Gladiator, significantly altered the perception of the Roman throne for the rest of the period. In 193 AD, following the assassination of Commodus, the throne was given to an elder statesman, sold to the highest bidder, and then vied after by 3 successful military generals. During this tumultuous period, the Praetorian Guard, a special military detachment stationed in the capital, realized their ability to nominate an emperor, their choosing, as the only main military force in the region. They were insulated from the army stationed in the frontiers unless a regional governor made the long march to Rome. The eventual victor of the ensuing civil war, Septimius Severus, hailed from Africa. Under the rule of Severus, then his son Caracalla, Africa was developed with large building projects in many major African urban centers, such as Carthage and Leptis Magna in modern-day Tunisia, Libya, and Algeria. After the eventual assassination of Severus Alexander, a physically imposing member of the Praetorian Guard took the throne. Born in low status, Maximinus elevated himself through a capable military career. He is remembered for his feats of physical endurance, famously running alongside the emperor's horse, and successfully besting many Roman soldiers in wrestling in quick succession. During the reign of Maximinus, as with many emperors who claimed the throne through violence on short notice, suspicions ran high of well-born individuals who had equal or even superior claims to the throne. Ran afoul of the imperial court, several prominent Romans in Africa begged the governor of their province, Gordian, to come to their aid, insisting that he claim the throne to right the ship of the Roman Empire. A member of Rome's senatorial class, Gordian's career spanned many emperors, holding several positions under both Caracalla and Severus Alexander during the beginning of the century. Initially rejecting their offer, the suspicion of the rival claimant is as equal a crime in the eyes of the despot as claiming the throne. First establishing himself and his armies in Carthage, he went to Rome in 238 and gained the support of the Senate. His son, a successful military general, remained in Africa to support their base. The Senate, despising among many things the low birth of Maximinus, threw their weight behind the new rulers. The general of the Praetorian Guard, having sworn his allegiance to Maximinus, was killed, and the rest of the soldiers paid off with a healthy donative, which was becoming more and more common in this period of high turnover. Gordian II, remaining in Carthage, was overwhelmed by the armies of Capellianus, the governor of the neighboring province of Mauritania, who had supported Maximinus in hope of glory. In recognition of their defeat, the elder Gordian took his life. In response, the Senate then nominated 2 co-emperors, Maximus, also known as Pupienus, and Balbinus. Maximus was a self-made military man who rose through the ranks, and Balbinus was a well-regarded senator with a rich family history connecting back to Trajan. By this period, the authority of the Senate had largely been eroded. From time to time, especially in the 3rd century, some emperors appointed by the military would request for the Senate's approval to take the throne, when in reality they are already in control. An example is Probus, a successful military general who was proclaimed emperor by his troops. This was one of the last major efforts by the Senate to truly influence the affairs of the state, as over time they became more and more marginalized as the empire took on the form of an Eastern autocracy. In response to the Senate granting the men authority, the people revolted in the capital in support of the young nephew of Gordian II. The Senate capitulated and nominated the youngest Gordian as Caesar, or junior emperor subordinate to both Maximus and Balbinus. The conflict with Maximinus was short. After some early successes on the battlefield, held up at Aquileia, he was killed by his soldiers. Back in Rome, after only 3 months, the relationship between Balbinus and Maximus had broken down. Separate policy goals, political infighting, and different life experiences had led the emperors to distrust each other. During the festival of the Capitoline Games, dissatisfied members of the Praetorians then took their chance. Separated, the 2 emperors could not coordinate a response to the threat. Both assassinated in the palace, the young Gordian was then elevated to the throne as the youngest Roman monarch. From his age of 13 till 19, Gordian reigned for 6 years. Due to his young age, his reign was mostly controlled by his key advisors, and he fell victim to yet another military insurrection, which was becoming more and more common during the period. This specific piece was minted during the period in 238 when Gordian was nominated as Caesar. The legend reads M. Ant, or Marcus Antonius, Gordianus Cs, for Caesar. His youthful portrait is captured here bareheaded, which commonly shows youthful rulers and subordinate rulers on Roman coinage. On the reverse, we see several sacrificial implements and the legend Pietas ABGG, or Augustus. The two G's are significant in Augustus that it shows there was two ruling emperors during this period, referring to both Maximus and Balbinus. In the center, we see a jug to the left, a lichus and knife, and a cymbalum and sprinkler on the right. Examples of collectible quality can be found for around 400 USD. An example in EF quality, such as this, or extremely fine quality, will go for around 1300 in the market. This is one of the more expensive pieces of this emperor, but common Antoniniani, or double denarii, can be found in good condition for as little as $35. At this price point, it is also possible to pick up issues from the reigning emperors of Pupienus and Balbinus. Thanks for watching. This has been Handling History, and I'm Theo.